Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I am your host for this video, and it's time for Lucky Analytics Live. Team building a Blastoise from the past, or a Blast from the past, or a Blastoise from the past, because we are building a team around Trireme. And this is a team that I built on my old channel, Aviator Storm. And it is named after Trireme. Trireme is a name of a Roman-style battleship. I think it's Roman. And it had 3 layers and for rowers. And it was like this. I learned it in my history class, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And Mega Blastoise, I'm like, oh yeah, that matches up pretty well. So we're rocking out with Water Pulse, Aura Sphere, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse. Also have a very interesting EV spread. We have 36 EVs in HP, bringing it up to 159. We have 76 in defense and 116 in special defense. After it Mega Evolves, that brings it up to, I believe, 150 in each. Yeah, it's 150 in each. And special attack. That goes through the roof. I think it goes up to like 205 or something like that after Mega Evolving, and speed is at 102, so it will outspeed a 4 EV invested Mon with an 80 base speed. Why? Because I felt like it. So that is Trireme, our Blastoise. It has the Rain Dish ability because, you know, Torrent's not really going to be relevant, as it is going to be Mega Evolving, but you know, if the rain's up, maybe I can get a little bit of HP back. Water Pulse, Aura Sphere, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse. The reason I bothered to... Originally, instead of Dark Pulse, I had Rapid Spin. However, if that was the case, it got walled like crazy by Jellicent. So I put the Dark Pulse on there so that we could hit, you know, the Jellicents that may be choosing to show up. I don't know. I also did a little bit of pre-planning with this team. I already figured out the core that's going to go along with it. I did not figure out the sets, however, that will be going on these cores. However, we do have, to complement Trireme, we have Rotom Mow. Bring it down to level 50. Name it Cut Boy Luke. Cut Boy Luke. Cut Boy Luke, our Rotom Mow. Not shiny. I don't really like shiny Rotom that much. I don't know what its item is going to be yet. I actually do. It's going to be leftovers. And it's going to be specially defensive because I already know the Mon that is going to be complementing this here Rotom Mow. 252 investment right there. And I'm actually going to give it the 4 in special attack. And what am I going to give it? I'm going to give it Volt Switch, of course. I'm going to give it the Leaf Storm. Obviously, it's, you know, Rotom Mow. Its other 2 moves I have yet to decide. And I'm actually going to leave them undecided for the time being, because I don't really know what type of set I'm going to be running. I know it's going to be a leftovers special wall. And the reason for that is because its counterpart, the physical wall, is going to be Weezing. Weezing, of course, coming up from NU. I seriously don't know why it's an NU. It's so fat. Poison Boy. Poison. Boi. Poison Boy. Male. Not shiny. With the Black Sludge, get some nice recovery. And as you can see right here, we have double Levitate. And we already have an electric type. So basically what that means is that we can get another electric type in here, preferably one that hits like a fucking monster. And so Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, you are going to have Sludge Bomb and Will-O-Wisp. Again, I don't know what the rest of your set is going to be. Then I'm going to EV you up to 52. You don't need your physical attack. 4, 4, 4. Go back up and give you 244 right here. I'm going to give you 0 attack IVs. I'm going to give you 0 attack IVs. And I'm going to give you 0 attack IVs. Because foul play is a thing, and I don't want to be catching no fucking foul plays. Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp. Well, like I said, the rest have yet to be decided. However, we need a dark type now. And the reason for that is that we only have one weakness on this team that is not being addressed, and that is a psychic weakness that we get from Poison Boy. Everything else is covered. We don't have any ground weaknesses, we don't have any ice weaknesses, everything else is covered, but we need a dark type. And we have really good ground immunity. So we can actually get a dark type in here that is weak to ground if we so choose. I don't know if we're gonna do that or not. I haven't actually looked at these dark types yet. But as we can see looking through, Drapion, Houndoom. Houndoom's an interesting option, but it's another special attacker, and we really need to get physical attackers now. Looking back up here, Crocodile is actually looking kind of nice. We don't have problem with water. We don't have problem with... We have a bit of a problem with ice, and a bit of a problem with... Well, actually, no, we're fine with grass, but we do have a bit of a problem with ice. That said, Crocodile is looking... It's looking really good with that Moxie. Like, Choice Scarfed Moxie with, you know, Earthquake and Knockoff. You can even put Pursuit on there if we really want to. I really like the idea. I'm going to go with the Crocodile. I'm going to go with the Moxie Crook. The Moxie Crook. I'm going to name it Tan Lines. Make it shiny. Just because I like that set. I mean, not that set. That, you know, set up for its name. I'm going to Scarf it. Because I'm not... I really like the idea of the Earthquake. Don't need Crunch. Knockoff. That's a thing. What I'm thinking is we could actually put Pursuit. We could actually give this thing Pursuit if we really wanted to. And we could Pursuit trap some stuff. And with Moxie, that could actually be kind of scary. But other than that, let's see what else you have to offer. What else would I be comfortable scarfing you into? Well, first of all, let's, you know, doodle these. 252, 4, 252. And your attack's actually already really high. Your speed, on the other hand, is not. With the Scarf right now, you would go up to half of 72. You'd go up to 216. Whereas if we do this, you're going to go up to, well, half of that is 79. You're going to go up to 237, I think. Which is a lot higher. That's a lot better. And I'm actually comfortable with your attack stat as is. It's really high. So I'm actually gonna keep you like that. You're gonna be Jolly Scarfed, which, you know, we might catch a couple people off guard and actually outspeed them when they think that we won't, because most people run Adamant Scarfed for obvious reasons. What else does this mean for you? This also means that, well, who is my opponent going to switch in on you thinking that they'll outspeed? That we then need to kill. Hydreigon is the first thing that comes to mind. Hydreigon would cause you a lot of problems, because Hydreigon does outspeed. Meaning typically it would outspeed. So I want to see something real fast, which is 252. Reach you up to 150. We're at 158, so we would outspeed. So I'm actually going to give you the Dragon Claw, because that way you can take out a Hydreigon. Because Trireme can handle Hydreigon. It does have the Aura Sphere and it also has, you know, Ice Beam, but, well, Aura Sphere would do a lot more. But to the same extent, I don't want Trireme taking a Draco Meteor, especially if it's like a Choice Specs Draco Meteor. Tanlines would not survive a Choice Specs Draco Meteor, obviously. However, outspeeding with that Dragon Claw, I think we would take out a Hydreigon. I think we would. I think that's, you know, the most powerful attack that we would get off on it. And, you know, Moxie Dragon Claw is kind of dangerous. Dragon's a really good attacking type. The last thing I want to give you, I would like to give you something to deal with fairies. But we have Poison Boy, so we're actually good with that. And speaking of which, I'm going to give you Flamethrower. And then I'm going to give you... Shadow Ball. And you're going to have Volt Switch Leaf Storm. I'm going to give you... I don't need Dark Pulse. I already have Dark Pulse, actually. I'm going to give you Signal Beam. And I'm going to give you... Double Will-O-Wisp? No, I'm going to give you Thunder Wave for some speed control. Because that'll help out Tanlines, and that'll help out Trireme as well. As you can see, this is not the bulky method. We have a Scarfer. It's not the bulky method. But, you know, I want to bring a little more variety to the team building because, you know, up until now it's been, you know, all bulky method all the time. But now we have a couple more interesting things. Earthquake, knockoff Dragon Claw. Your last move. That's interesting right there. I could give you Facade in case you get burned. Or I could give you... no, I'm giving you Pursuit. I really like the idea of Pursuit trapping something. I really feel like that's going to come in handy. But now we have an Ice weakness that we need to take care of. We have a Fountain Water. Fighting, we're good. Fairy, we're good. And Bug, and a Bug. An Ice and a Bug weakness. So we actually need a Steel type, which is fine because we have those ground immunities. So, Cobalion is actually looking really nice. Just right off the bat, Cobalion looking good. Lucario is also looking good. Just immediately, both of those are looking good. Aggron, no. Aggron's not looking good because we don't need a physical wall. But Cobalion and Lucario are both looking good. I'm going to go with Cobalion because I can set up my Stealth Rocks, and it also gives us more Switch initiative. Cobalion learns Volt Switch. It's not, you know, a special attacker, but it learned... Well, actually, you could be a special attacker. Oh, yeah, you could be. I'm going to name you Cobalt. That's what I name mine. And make you Shinny, because then you're more Cobalty. As for your item... Well, let's see. Psychic, Fairy, and Flying you're not weak to. But you're weak to Fire, which does need to be addressed once again because Triremes are only resistance. You're weak to Fire. You are weak to Ground, which we're fine with. And you are weak to Fighting, which we're also fine. No, we're not fine with. You need to address that. So you have a Fighting weakness and you have a Fire weakness. Both of those need to be addressed. Trying to think how. I don't think there's one type that covers both of those. But Justified is, of course, your ability. You're going to have the Close Combat and the Iron Head. And Stealth Rock. I'm actually going to give you the Sacred Sword. Because I don't really... And then, of course, the Volt Switch, as I was saying before. Volt Switch is for some really nice Switch initiative. Give you 4 in HP. 252. I don't need the Volt Switch doing anything. I don't need it doing damage. It's just there to actually, you know, get me out of there. 176 is actually really high. I'd actually be more comfortable with that. I'm more comfortable with that. With you being adamant. And as for your item... if you didn't have Stealth Rock, I'd slap an Assault Vest on you so fast. But you do have the Stealth Rock, and I kind of need you to have the Stealth Rock. Well, hold on. Will our last Pokemon have Stealth Rock? Because we also need a Rapid Spinner. And we have that big fire weakness peeking out, and we have that fighting weakness peeking out, because we have 2 weaknesses and only 1 resist. So fire and fighting. What resists fire? You have water, you have rock, you have fire. I don't know if there's anything that resists both of those. I'm going to pull up my type chart on my phone. Fire and fighting. Actually, I just thought of something that works with that perfectly. Although it is another special attacker, however, you're stuck with the Stealth Rock, unfortunately. It also is going to cause some changes. I want to give you the Citrus Berry. No. I want to give you the Expert Belt. That I like. Tan Lines has all that stuff. Chandelure. It's immune to... it's weak to ground, but we're fine with that. It is weak to rock. We're good with that. It is weak to ghost. We're good with that. It's weak to dark. We're good with that. It is weak to water. 2 and 2. We're good. It is weak to... And it's immune to the fighting, and it is immune to the fire with Flash Fire. So, Chandelure works out really nicely right here. And I know it's a UU mon. Yeah, it's UU. I'm going to name it Candelabra. And I don't know how to spell it, so I'm not going to name it that. I'm going to name you Lucifer. I'm going to name you Lucifer. I don't know why. Kind of feel it. Male. Lucifer. Shiny. Your item. That's a good question. Also, I need to change a couple things over here. These 2 moves are going bye-bye. Obviously. I'm instead going to go with the Taunt would be interesting, but it's not going to go very well. Just because it's a very slow mon. Pain Split I am going to give you. I'm comfortable with that. Shadow Ball on the other hand you don't need. And what could you go with? You could go with Shockwave. Oh, wheezing. Oh, wheezing. Then you see, the thing about these is that when I'm not doing the bulky method, it goes faster because there's a lot less, thought process that goes into each of these mons. As I'm sure you can tell, because this is a much shorter episode. Cupboy Luke, what do you have? Signal Beam? Nah, you don't need that. Meaning, Cupboy Luke can have it. Wheezing doesn't need it. Protect. Shadow Ball. Sludge Wave. Substitute Taunt. Well, maybe I can get rid of something over here. I actually can't, because you don't learn any of them. If you got a Thunder Wave, I would run you with Thunder Wave, and I would give Cupboy Luke something else, but that is not the case. Instead, I can't go with the Taunt. It's just not going to work. Protect, on the other hand, might work. And I'm not running you with Explosion. Clear Smog could be interesting, but UU is kind of less common for setup sweepers. You really see that more in OU with all the Dragon Dancers that are up there. However, Salamence is down here now. Salamence is down here. I'm actually going to go with the Clear Smog. I'm going to go with the Clear Smog because with Salamence down here now that I was thinking about it, Salamence could cause some issues. As for your item, I'm going to Focus Sash the hell out of you. We don't have a Rapid Spinner. That's a problem. You don't need Aura Sphere anymore, though. Rapid Spin it is. Because we do have Cobalt. However, this has to go to close combat. Because I'll need the extra damage. And then you can Volt Switch yourself out of there. Shadow Ball. Spatter Ball. Shadow Ball. Flamethrower. I don't want to miss. Not a fan. Energy Ball. We have grass coverage, but, you know, the secondary coverage might be nice. Other moves. I could go with the substitute set. Like Subcalm Mind. I'm not really a big fan of that because you are pretty frail to be trying to sub up on stuff. What other moves do you get though? Because you're kind of like my go-to coverage mon. I'm gonna actually max this out, make you hit like a fucking monster. 216. Oh my lord. 216 is way too high. And 252 right here. 132. Not bad, not great. 4 here in defense. What am I going to give you? I'm going to give you the Energy Ball just because it'll help. And I'm going to give you the Substitute. I'm interested in seeing how that'll turn out. We have a heavily special team. But we do have Tan Lines and Cobalt, both of which can kind of wreck shop. They can do a lot. Now that I'm thinking about it, Tan Lines with the Choice Scarf can kind of tear through a lot. And Cobalt with the Expert Bell, Close Combat, and Iron Head, that'll take care of Fairy types. That thing will destroy a Florges. Lucifer down there with the Focus Sash. Focus Sash with the Flash Fire, that means we can switch in on a Fire type attack and probably get a substitute up. And with access to Shadow Ball, we can probably tear through some stuff. Because actually Focus Sash won't do us any good if we have substitute. What will do us some good? I could go with the Life Orb, but it's kind of, you know. Let's think about it. I have an idea in my head. I want to make sure that there's nothing else that I would be interested in using. But I will go with that idea if I don't find anything. Safety Goggles, Scope Lens. I'm gonna go with the Shell Bell. Get you some HP back once you get off that substitute. I'm actually happy with this team. It's really nicely cohesive. It's got the Rapid Spinner from Trireme because Aura Sphere did become unnecessary now that we have, you know, Physical Fighting Stab, which is, you know, generally speaking a little bit better given that Assault Vest is a thing. Like Assault Vest Hydreigon. Like when I'm doing stuff like this, I really pay attention to the tier itself because, you know, Hydreigon runs rampant through this tier, Florges runs rampant through this tier, and Cobalt can kind of handle both of those because it resists Hydreigon stab, and it actually has that justified. So like I can switch in on a Dark Pulse and get my attack up one stage, and then kind of just tear through some stuff. We have Poison Boy and Cut Boy Luke. They kind of make up our core right there. With, you know, double status, we have, you know, Paralysis and Burn to unleash on our opponent. Trireme, of course, is the star of the team. Really nice, really big, really bulky. Water Pulse, Rapid Spin, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse. Cut by Luke, got the Switch Initiative on there. Access to Leaf Storm, that's like a one-hit wonder type of thing because it does cut your special attack in half as soon as you use it. Signal Beam, that's for coverage. It'll hit stuff like, maybe a Cacturn or a Shiftry that want to come up here. Or Malamar. I have seen a Malamar come up here. An Assault Vest Malamar with superpower. Scared the crap out of me. Poison Voice, Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, and Clear Smog. Clear Smog to get rid of the setup sweepers that are in this tier. Salamence is down here now. And I'm sure there are others that I'm forgetting. What other sort of setup sweepers do we have down here? We have Cresselia, which is a pain in the ass. We have Feraligatr. Now that I remember Feraligator's in here, I'm really glad that I have that because a +1 Feraligatr that'll fuck up my Rotom with an Ice Punch. But then we of course have Choice Scarf, Tan Lines right there with the Moxie. Moxie Earthquake, Moxie Knockoff, Moxie Dragon Claw. That should be able to get rid of a Hydreigon, maybe a couple other things. Pursuit Trapping some stuff as well. That should be an interesting strategy right there. Cobalt, our Cobalion with the Expert Belt. Close Combat Iron Head, that'll rip through Hydreigon, that'll rip through Florges. If Aggron doesn't Mega Evolve, Close Combat will beat the crap out of that thing. I don't know if it'll one-shot, but it'll two-shot. It may one-shot. We are adamant. And then, of course, we have Lucifer with the Shell Bell and Substitute. That's an interesting strategy that I'm very curious to try out. I went with Modest because I think that'll help us, gain that little bit of extra HP back through the Shell Bell that I think a timid Chandelure might not be able to get. And, Shadow Ball and Flamethrower for stab, and then, Energy Ball. Sitting in the back for coverage, it hits the water types, it hits the ground types, it hits the rock types. It's a grass type attack hits all of a fire type's weaknesses. And then, it's weak to Ghost and Dark, both of which Tan Lines can kind of cover. So, nice little, half core right there. And that's going to be the end of this one. It actually kind of stretched out with the, analysis at the end to, about the same length. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. Next time on Lucky Analytics, I will be in the RU tier. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. But I love the RU tier. It's my favorite tier. You don't have to deal with Galvantula, and you don't have to deal with Landorus Therian. But to the same extent, you still have access to some pretty cool Megas. So that's my favorite tier. I'm going to go record that one right after this, actually. But thank you guys again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe down below. It's very important, and it's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best of luck to you out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.